Audio on. Video on. Action. All right, thanks for joining me today, ladies and gentlemen. So what we're going to do is first I'm actually going to screen record this because this can be very hold on a second. Let me screen record this, and
I'll say it again, prejudging needs to be on the same day like it was before.
Yeah.
We had prejudging about 11 a.m, finals at 7 p.m. Having this the second day, and I hear people saying...
Okay, that was Lee Pre, so I'm trying to get this thing up and going here, so give me 1 second while I'm recording and screen testing this. And what I'm going to do is let's see what I'm going to do here. Let's pause that for a second, and then we're going to video capture that part right here with Lee Priest. I'm going to let this play out. What I'm going to do is just give you a little intro that one of my favorite bodybuilders of all time is Lee Priest at 5.5 height and 250 off season and 220, 202 or 222, something around that range weight, competitive. He's definitely a freakazoid by nature, born, raised in Australia, and you can't help but gravitate to this kind of the way he's thinking. For those of you who are bodybuilders or ex-bodybuilders know what I'm talking about, but for him, misunderstood because he tells you straight up, there's no if, ands, or but. It's the way he feels, and everybody's entitled to their own opinions, right? So, and I did meet Lee Priest back in 1990, I think 4 or 5, something like that. It's been a long time, when I was competing as well too. And he came to Canada, Windsor, and he was at one of the supplement stores that I was actually sponsored in, and he was there and got me to I did a photo shoot with him. I had a photo shot with him, with me and my ex at the time, my girlfriend at the time, actually my fiance at the time. And it was great just meeting him, just looking at him like that as a freakazoid, because it's hard to look up to somebody who's he's not a small by no means. He's just shorter than most of the other bodybuilders. So that's one reason why. And I respect that with anybody who is shorter than the other competitors who are just as big, and the only thing that was lacking was just his height. You can't call him small because he's not small by no means. He is humongous, freakazoid by nature, and it just got me drawn into him and his character. And apparently he's a Cancer too, which is awesome because I'm a Cancer as well too. I was born July 16th, 1970, so he's born as well as July. So I kind of understand why I gravitate to him. We have the same signs, and he kind of he knows when to back off, knows to be quiet, but he knows where to stand, what he believes in. So he's got that truth serum in him, and I like that. But anyway, I'm going to let this play out. Hope this thing works. Let's see if this screen catches. So I'm going to let this record and listen to what he has to say. So right now, let's just okay. See, he's kind of scrambling right now, but he's really.
So, prejudging should be on the one day.
Yeah.
Why don't you all get some balls? I know using steroids makes your balls shrink, but you still fucking have them. So why don't you use them and just say, we want prejudging on the one day.
I do agree with you, Lee. I do.
Without you, there's no show.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about your health. You wonder why the sport's looked at as a joke? Pre-judging over 2 days. Other divisions have 1 day.
Yeah.
The same people are going to come watch it and buy tickets. You're not going to lose any money, you dumb promoters. Think about the fucking athletes. Put their health first, not the fucking money in your pocket that you think about all the time. So athletes, take a fucking stand, for God's sakes. This sport's becoming a joke.
So that was Lee Priest, man. So he tells you straight up.
And I'll say it again, pre-judging needs to be on the same day like it was before.
Okay, so
we had pre-judging about 11 a.m.
I'm let this play again.
Okay. At 7 p.m. Having this the second day, and I hear people saying the Arnold's going to be rejudged tomorrow. Why? If I come in shape today and I'm on, I should win. I shouldn't have other guys go back and do hocus pocus, do dangerous stuff
that's
to
true.
come back the next day and
Straight
beat
up,
me.
man.
You get one chance to get in shape, and that's on that day.
That's true.
What other sport gives you a second day? Boxing? Oh, you knocked me out this day, but don't worry, we're going to fight again tomorrow, and whoever wins tomorrow is the winner.
That's true.
Any other sport? Oh, that's okay if you lose today, or you're beating me today, because tomorrow is when it really counts, and I can beat you then. Because I've got time to go and change how I look, go change my eating, take a few different drugs, diuretics, and tomorrow I'll beat you. Even though you beat me today when it should have been judged. It's fucking bullshit. And athletes, I've heard them say to me before, Lee, we agree. You're the athlete. Fucking stand up. Talk to the athlete's rep. Without you, there is no fucking contest, you idiots. That's what pisses me off. When I used to say this in the old days, people would be like, we agree, Lee, but we don't want to say anything. It might upset our placings. We might get in trouble. You fucking idiots. Without you, there are no contests.
That's true.
Get that through your fucking head. So, pre-judging should be on the 1 day. Why don't you all get some balls? I know using steroids makes your balls shrink, but you still fucking have them. So why don't you use them and just say, we want pre-judging on the 1 day, or we're not competing. Without you, there's no show. They don't give a fuck about your health. You wonder why the sport's looked at as a joke? Pre-judging over 2 days. Other divisions have 1 day. The same people are going to come watch it and buy tickets. You're not going to lose any money, you dumb promoters. Think about the fucking athletes. Put their health first, not the fucking money in your pocket that you think about all the time. So athletes, take a fucking stand, for God's sakes. This sport's becoming a joke.
Wow. So that is pretty much Lee Priest the way he feels, and I agree with him, because back in the day, back in the 90s when I first started bodybuilding, competing as well too, pre-judging was in the morning. You wake up 8 o'clock in the morning, you tan up, get ready to load up, carb up, and get ready for the morning pre-judging, which is usually around 9 o'clock. So you wake up really early in the morning, around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, put on your tan, get ready, eat, and carb load, and then go to the show, wait till it starts at 8 or 9 o'clock, then pre-judging lasts about maybe till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you come back home, keep carbing up, and then the night show is at 7. It should be like that. Not the second day when he's talking about hocus pocus, but all this magical stuff. I do. That's why I think he's talking about common sense when it comes to bodybuilding fitness. You shouldn't be able to wait. This is a professional sport. You should be able to compete that day, get it over with, not a day or 2 days after that. And that's what I do agree with him as well too. So that's my 2 cents, and I just want to make sure that to clarify that as well too, that it is up to the athlete. You know, every athlete should get up together and just say to the promoters or the owners that, hey, this is the way it should go. You know what I mean? You have to get it's all common sense, because it's also for health reasons as well too. Your body can only withstand so much water depletion and carb depletion, and you know, people get sick. Some people even die. You know, and it happened to a lot of people. Benazizi, he took too much diuretics, Lasix that is, and died, and lack of water. So you know what I mean? So it should be that just 1 day. It should be common sense. It's for the athletes, and it should be for also as well the sport, the love of the sport, and also for the health of the sport too. So for those of you who are health freaks and fitness, you should really think about that. You know, it is common sense. So I do agree with them on that, and I agree with them with a lot of things. And now I'm not just being biased, because I do. He is my number one top bodybuilder. I just agree with his common sense and his work ethics, and his also and all out the way he packages himself. You know, he conducts himself. He knows when to stand up. He knows when to lay back. He knows when to be quiet. So he's got that common sense in him, and you know what I mean. I don't agree with him with some things, but I do agree with him in a lot of things. So that's my point, and that's my 2 cents with Lee Priest. So I do like the guy. I do like his way of thinking, his common sense, and I definitely like his pageant, the way he's all built, and the way he looks, and the way he conducts himself as a professional bodybuilder and as a human being. Okay, guys. So anyway, thanks for joining me today on this segment on Lee Priest and why I agree with him in his way of thinking and his common sense and about the pre-judging. So clarify what you will. So this is part 1 of Lee Priest and why I do agree with him, and I do like him, and the way he's built mentally, emotionally, physically, and I don't know about spiritually, because he doesn't have that much spiritually in him, but soon enough he probably will, but we'll see what happens. Good luck. We'll see you in the next video, part 2 on Lee Priest. Okay, guys, bye for now. God bless, Godspeed. See you next video.